Hi guys, in today's video I'm currently just on a walk at the moment with the dogs, so I just thought I'd do kind of an update over how the pigs are doing and over kind of just how life has been having 10 guinea pigs down our house. So we brought the guinea pigs home 3 weeks ago this Friday, which really does not feel like it was that long ago, but yeah. So we brought them home and obviously we set up quite temporary cages because I kind of knew I wanted to change them up and I wanted to make them larger because I wasn't overly happy with the size. And yeah, so we did that. We ended up basically moving the pairs, so I have 2 spayed females, at that point 2 uncastrated males in pairs, and they were originally living in 2x4s when they first came to Scotland, because it was one of those things where it was like I needed to kind of get them situated, and a 2x4 is the bare minimum. Pairs, I don't think it's big enough. I don't really even think the 2x5s are big enough, but I have plans. So yeah, we ended up putting them in 2x5s, kind of fixed some of the disagreements that they were having, so that has kind of been sorted now, which is great. They're also in a stacked cage, which saves so much space, so we ended up actually moving that room around to give them that basically stacked cage and to give them all that space, and that really helped my life in terms of giving them space and in terms of just giving them more enrichment, which was fantastic. The girls have got a 4x5 for the 6 of them. I think it's a 4x5 for the 6 of them or something, which is great for them. And the plan was always to get Perry castrated and put him and Nora in with them, and the girls would then get that 4x6 as well as the 2x5, which I have managed to actually go and do for them, which has been fantastic for them. So we actually found about 40 minutes away, actually, in Portobello, an exotic vet practice. Absolutely fantastic. It's not actually an exotic vet practice, but they have an exotic team there, but they don't charge exotic vet prices, which is great, because actually here in Edinburgh, and a castrate is with actual exotic vet practice is about £400, which is extortionate. So I kind of was looking for, so when you have guinea pigs or small animals, they are classed as exotics. As a general nurse, we're not trained the same as exotics. We don't have enough training. We have basic training, we don't have enough training on them. So, but you can get general practices that have an exotics team in, which they are just as trained as the exotic practices, they just work at general vets. So his castrate I think was 150, but they do space for 200, which is really cheap, but they are quite recommended actually here, and they did come recommended by a few of the nurses I work with. And yeah, so we ended up booking Perry in for his castration, but we also took 2 of the girls in because they actually offer a free health check when you basically register a new pet. So we ended up taking the baby, who we were told was 6 weeks old, but I was weighing her and I was comparing some of my weights to some of the last babies I've had born, and just some babies I have worked with, and she was not on target for a 6-week-old guinea pig, but her health was fantastic. And we all kind of agreed that instead of actually being 6 weeks old, the breeder lied and she was 3 weeks old. But thankfully I do have her mum, because I did take on that whole situation and that person's basically whole breeding group of girls. So yeah. And then we ended up actually taking Rosie, who was the white female, because I had some concerns, because yes, pregnancy, if they're overbred, can cause hair loss, but it is not supposed to cause hair loss to the extent that she has it, basically. And when we did the ultrasound, I was expecting to find a cyst, because we could feel something, we just weren't sure what we could actually feel. The ultrasound shows that she is pregnant. Now the breeder is adamant that she has not been near a male. Obviously I've only had this girl for 3 weeks. She has not been near any of my boars, and she also, they don't show up as pregnant even if she had. So that's great. So we've got to now deal with that situation, but she is pregnant. Baby's doing great, mum is doing fantastic, she's gaining weight really well. She is actually really good with the baby, even though it's not her baby, she's looking after her. The breeder is basically claiming that rock her this way. The breeder is basically claiming that she has retained semen, which Personally, I've spoken to about 5 different vets, including referrals, including specialists, including a lot of different people that I've worked with, that are just people I know of. And we're all kind of like, we've never, ever heard of this. So I think everyone's biggest suspicion is she's just kind of left her to breed with a male. Now, Perry, after his castrate, is doing fantastic. We are holding off on the bond a little bit longer just because of Perry's personality. He can be a bit scatty, and he also hasn't done an intro since he was 3 weeks old. So he's not used to going in with new pigs. He's not used to that. And also, Rosie has went from being in a fair plus 80 and a breeding situation and not used to other pigs to then going to obviously me, where she lives in a 4x6 CNC cage with 5 other girls. So I think it would be too much for her in reality to go from that, to then introducing a new male and a new female, who Nora can be a little bit challenging when she wants to be. This dog is actually stuck. Fantastic. But yes, she can be a little bit challenging when she wants to be, so we're holding off on that intro. Before that, everyone's doing fantastic. So the next few weeks are going to be obviously making sure the babies are okay, and once the boys are separated at 3 weeks, females will be staying. The plan is that we are going to be keeping them. Boys will be castrated at 3 months, and then once they hit 3 months, we're not kind of sure. But they might be staying, they might not be staying. We're not exactly sure. I do have homes lined up with other nurses I work with if they don't. But yeah, so that is kind of the plan for now. And then once the boys are separated at 3 weeks, Rosie will be bonded. Well, that whole group of girls will be then bonded with Perry and Nora. And then my plan is, so I've noticed Boris has always been finicky. I've known that since basically I adopted him over a year ago now, actually, and he is getting castrated because he is bullying Pandora a little bit, and Pandora is just not gaining weight the way she should be. So the plan for them is that we're going to take 2 of the girls out of that main group and bond them in with them. So we're going to be doing that hopefully within the next hopefully he's going to be getting castrated at the middle of August, just because that's the only space really that people have for castrates. So he's going to be castrated at the end of August, and then by October time we shall be adding more girls to that group, which is great. So yeah, dog wise, nothing really major. Rocco's hips have, I don't know how, since they've been on this raw diet, the dogs have improved so much. I mean, like, his hips are fantastic. She has had a slight ear infection, but she's always been a little bit on the finicky side. But she got an ear clean, she got some ear drops, and she's been fine. Her knees have actually also improved, so far we're holding off on her knee surgery, her other knee surgery. So yeah, but that is kind of everything. I think my next videos are going to basically be meeting the guinea pigs, kind of introducing you to everybody, and kind of letting you know obviously everybody's names, and yeah, and then also what my animals eat in the day, because I think I see so many videos on YouTube where people are doing like guinea pig diets and stuff, and they're quite bad. Like, there's not enough variety, there's far too many pellets, there's not enough hay, and they overstress over calcium and vitamin C, and I'm like, you don't need to stress that much. But yes, they're kind of like the plans. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.